Chicago Fire star Jocelyn Hudon shares hopes for a Law and Order SVU crossover with Olivia Benson. Chicago Fire wrapped up on Wednesday, May 21, alongside Med and PD, with all three set to return to NBC for the 2025 to 2026 broadcast season. The series is a look into the professional and personal lives of the firefighters and paramedics of Firehouse 51 as they risk their lives every day to save and protect the citizens of Chicago. Taylor Kinney, Miranda Ray Mayo, Dermot Mulroney, Hanako Greensmith, Jocelyn Hudon, Christian Stolt, Joe Mignoso, Daniel Curie, and Jake Lockett make up the main cast. Hudon plays paramedic Lila Novak, who first joined the procedural in Season 12, Episode 9, Something About Her. Hudon is most well known for her work on When Hope Calls, The Strain, Pexels, and The Order. She has also appeared in several other network series, such as ABC's 9 to 11 and The Rookie, Feds, NBC's The Irrational, and CBS Criminal Minds. I chatted with Jocelyn Hudon about what Ritter's exit means for Novak, her character's romance with Damon, and which character from the Dick Wolf universe she'd like to see in Chicago Fire. Screen Rant. Daniel Curie is leaving the show, but Ritter and Novak just became roommates. What is she going to do? Novak and Damon have a romance brewing, but they're keeping it casual. Do you have any specific hopes for that relationship? I love a goodwill they want they relationship, so I could see that for her and Damon. Season 13 gave us some bits and pieces from Novak's past. Do you think we'll learn more about her in Season 14? Is there a specific question that you have? One where you're like, I really want to know this about Novak, but the show hasn't told you yet. Did the writers give you any extra backstory when you booked the role of Novak? If you were writing an episode of Chicago Fire, is there a storyline you'd write for Novak? This is probably a hard question because there are so many characters. But is there one character in particular from the Dick Wolf universe, alive or dead, that you would have liked Novak to interact with? In the fiery world of Chicago Fire, Jocelyn Hudon has quickly carved out a space that fans adore. As the fiercely determined paramedic Lila Novak, she's brought heart, grit, and nuance to Firehouse 51. But recently, the actress revealed she's dreaming bigger, specifically of a crossover with another iconic universe, Law and Order, SVU, and at the center of her wish, none other than the legendary Captain Olivia Benson, played by Mariska Hargitay. It would be a dream come true, Hudon admitted during a recent red carpet interview, flashing a wide grin. Olivia Benson is a hero of mine. I grew up watching her. I think there's something electric about the idea of Lila Novak teaming up with someone like Benson. It's two different kinds of strength, but both are deeply rooted in compassion and justice. Fans of Chicago Fire know that Lila's backstory is layered with emotional trauma, including a past domestic abuse incident she alluded to in Season 12. We've seen her handle difficult calls with empathy that's born from her own experiences, Hudon explained. So I keep thinking, what if she encountered a case that involved a survivor? Something big enough that she'd need SVU's help. And what better ally than Olivia Benson? Imagining that crossover isn't so far-fetched. After all, NBC's Dick Wolf is the mastermind behind both franchises, and the cross-pollination of characters has happened before. But this pairing would be different. It wouldn't be about chasing down perps with flashing sirens or fiery explosions. Instead, it would be a meeting of two strong women with parallel stories, women who've both faced trauma, endured, and now spend their lives helping others survive. I picture Lila responding to a call where a woman is found injured, terrified, and unable to speak, Hudon mused. As Lila tries to comfort her in the ambulance, she senses something deeper is going on. Once the woman's in the ER, Lila refuses to let the situation get brushed aside. She calls in help, and that's when Benson shows up. Just her presence commands respect. The crossover episode, Hudon imagines, wouldn't just be about crime solving. It would be about healing. They butt heads a bit at first, she laughed. Lila's impulsive. She dives in heart first. Benson's more seasoned, methodical. But they'd eventually find this rhythm, like a duet of strength. Hudon even has ideas for quieter scenes that would resonate. I'd love to see a moment where they're off duty, maybe in a hospital corridor or sharing coffee in a squad room. Lila might open up about her past in a way she hasn't before. And Olivia. She'd listen in that way she does, patient, calm, but with this fire in her eyes that says, "I've been there. I see you. You're not alone." The emotional resonance of such a meeting, Hudon believes, would touch fans on both sides. People connect to Olivia Benson because she represents justice with empathy. I think Lila's trying to become that kind of person in her own way. It'd be incredible storytelling, two women from different cities, united by the same fight. While NBC has yet to comment on any plans for future crossovers, the idea of Hudon and Hargitay sharing screen time is already lighting up social media. Fan forums have erupted with dream plots, from joint investigations to courtroom scenes. One fan tweeted, "Lila Novak and Olivia Benson in the same scene. I'd combust. NBC, make it happen." Hudon takes the enthusiasm as fuel. The fans are brilliant. They come up with plot lines I never would have imagined. But at the heart of all of it is this hunger for stories that show women uplifting each other. Olivia Benson has been doing that for over 2 decades. I think Lila's ready to learn from her, and maybe surprise her too. If a crossover does come to fruition, Hudon has one more wish. Let them save someone together. Let them be the reason someone walks away from darkness into light. That's what both of them do best. And what about behind the scenes? "Oh, I'd be totally starstruck," Hudon admitted with a laugh. "But Mariska seems like such a generous scene partner. I think we'd have fun. I'd probably be taking notes non-stop between takes." Until NBC gives the green light, Hudon continues to pour her heart into Chicago Fire. But the spark of possibility is there, glowing as brightly as a firehouse engine roaring into the night. "Who knows?" she said, eyes twinkling. "Stranger things have happened in one Chicago. And if there's any justice in the TV world, Benson and Novak will meet." While NBC has yet to comment on any plans for future crossovers, the idea of Hudon and Hargitay sharing screen time is already lighting up social media. Fan forums have erupted with dream plots, from joint investigations to courtroom scenes. One fan tweeted, "Lila Novak and Olivia Benson in the same scene. I'd combust. NBC, make it happen." Hudon takes the enthusiasm as fuel. The fans are brilliant. They come up with plot lines I never would have imagined. But at the heart of all of it is this hunger for stories that show women uplifting each other. Olivia Benson has been doing that for over 2 decades. I think Lila's ready to learn from her, and maybe surprise her too. If a crossover does come to fruition, Hudon has one more wish. Let them save someone together. Let them be the reason someone walks away from darkness into light. That's what both of them do best. And what about behind the scenes? "Oh, I'd be totally starstruck," Hudon admitted with a laugh. "But Mariska seems like such a generous scene partner. I think we'd have fun. I'd probably be taking notes non-stop between takes."